One of those good Sunday mornings where actually it was a pretty good weekend. I led worship and get to jam for the Lord. I think I played bass set on Sunday. It's May 5th, my son's birthday, of all things. Regular service, I come home, and usually I come home to, kick back because I wake up early during the week. I'm always up, so I usually like to come take a nap. But I got all, thwacked out on coffee. So I thought, I'm just going to go out there and whack the weeds because, we have to. And they send a little notice in the park sometimes. And I thought, I'm just going to beat them to it. I have a pretty big yard. And usually the weeds get really high. And, it's the season from all the rain. And turn on the stereo, let it play outside so you can hear it jam on them while I'm running the weed whacker as best as I can. And next thing I know, I look over, and I ran inside while it was engulfed. There was the cat. I yelled for my cat. Buddies, I call them buddies. And my cat just flipped out, I had a big meow, ran inside the house real quick like an idiot. He ran right to me, grabbed him, and ran out the back door. Not even in 5 minutes, the whole living room was already on fire. Before the fire department got here, the living room was already destroyed. It just happened so quick with mobile homes. It's like a matchbook, just and how devastating that was. At the moment, I didn't know what to think. I wasn't screaming. I was like, with a few curse words. That's what came out of my mouth because I'm a realist, and even as a Christian, you don't know what to think at the time. You're all in nice scared flesh mode. It just totally sucked. I don't know. I had this peace after it happened. There's nothing that I could do about it. Right away, for myself, I accepted. Okay, now what do I got to do? And with God, my thought about Him didn't stop because the only thing I knew, the verse that I think is forgotten a lot, that through much tribulation we must enter the kingdom. It was like immediately, I had people, Christians, saw the devastation. Pikers for Christ and Rushing Wind Ministries, people came down, left. I had my buddy Ernesto, who has 4-stage cancer, in pain, came down to make sure I was all right. Mike Tobin came out, Spider came out, Spider! My father in particular, I respect him highly. Of course, let me have it about the insurance thing, but he's your father, But I'd like to thank everybody else that really helped me. That really gave me a humbling experience, and it really dear to my heart that just how I watched God just touch the hearts. They came together, and it's still working on it. I got a little bit more to do. Get rid of these trailers, get rid of that metal, and praising God that He's providing the way to put a home back in here again. And the fundraiser is going to them. I'm going to have this on record, on camera, that I don't want to see any of that. Just go pay the people that have gone, what's left over. Let's keep it at the church, so if something else happens to somebody else, we'll all pitch in and go help them out. This is what we need to do as a church. I know we have our daily lives and our families and all that stuff, but action is what the church is, not just words. We are supposed to be the church. St. Francis of Assisi said this: preach the gospel, use words if necessary. Your action is more important than your words to people now these days, especially in this day and age. Now we come to this devastation. I want to let you know something. After all this devastation, it's only been a couple of weeks for me, but I come to this point where this is going to happen with us. But for the person that's going through this, the words are very true in Matthew 11:20, verse 28. Is Jesus says, "Come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden and are burdened, and I will give you rest." He will give you rest. He will take on your burdens, for his yoke is light. What it means is there's no restraints. Come unto him, and he's right there. Walk on your side. He's walking on your side with you. And to come to this conclusion, out of all the things that happen to devastation, this is called entropy. These things are going to happen to you, Christian, one way or another. Jesus didn't say this, being a Christian, in this life, this is a temporary life. We are all headed to the grave because this is the state of what sin has done. You go to Genesis chapter 3. Read that very carefully, especially read about what Adam has to go through. First, the woman is going to be the mother of all the living, and her burden is going to be great. Understand? Second is the curse. Curse is, is the ground that you walk on, and thorns and thistles, and heavy burden will be the rest of your life and you'll eat bread all the days of your life until you go back to the dust from which you came. And this is the reality, folks. But let me tell you something. Jesus made the way out for us. He really did. This is a real historical story. The man, God-man, really did actually exist. He came down in the flesh. He became one of us, went through the 9-month process, and lived the length of time that he lived by taking every one of our burdens on him and nailing it to a tree, a cross. We use a Roman cross, but it says in prophecy, he was nailed to a tree. So a piece of wood. And he hung there and took everybody's sins away, and he asked you to come unto him. He will take your burden upon you. Your devastation, your tribulation. He will walk with you through it because he already warned you. If they hated, me, if they hate you, they hated me first. All these burdens that you got. But you have that peace. Because even though you're going through this and you're in shock at the moment, it is a guarantee God's going to, restore what the locusts have eaten. It was what it's called. He's doing that in my life. He did it right away because I already have the confidence to know he's never let me down, ever. God has never let me down. Polycarp said he served him for 80 years. Not once has he been let down. This guy was going to his martyr death, being burnt alive is how this man died. But he went there and said, how can I deny somebody that loved me so much and never let me down? And this is what I want you to know about this devastation, what I'm going through, what you're going through, whatever disaster, please go to him, go to Christ, cry out his name, and I guarantee he'll hear you. I don't know how he's going to come to you, but you're a unique individual. He's going to come to you the way that you're going to understand. Call upon his name now. Not just some little prayer. Actually go, hey, he's a real person. Pray to him and talk to him and see what happens.
You're the owner of everything, creator of my soul. So I'll put my trust in you, 'cause you'll never let me go. You are the one that justifies, you sanctify our lives. You chose to die our death, and that's why you rose above these lies.
You gotta keep that in there.
But you never gave up. Lay down your own life just to lift it back up. You rose to life.
ding, 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 bang, bong, 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 like Trump would say. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Suck it in, you beautiful. No, must be something inside.
If you're tired and weary from that lonely, crooked road, just cry out from where you're at. Cry out, Jesus, I need you.
Oh, that went down my leg. Oh, anyway. Anyway. How to get that out?
Oh, that road. Traveled so far, but you never gave up. Lay down your own life just to lift it back up. That road. Oh, that road. Traveled so far, but you never gave up. Lay down your own life just to lift it back up.
The truth about this is it happened as an electrical flyer, not me going to Roberto's and buying me a bean and cheese burrito.